see. And we're back. Let's see if this we fix that. Should be disabled, which it is. Much better. We actually downgraded the video too, just in case if it went south on us. We'll let some folks get in. I think we're in good shape now. Yeah, this is still the new hat, guys. I have not got recovered the other one from Six Flags. It's at the bottom of the Screaming Eagle, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't know. We plugged in a different camera, and I think it jacked with the audio. It had audio too, and I think it flipped it around to where it disabled the main audio. So I think we're back. We'll get some folks in here. Excellent. Jacked up. So we're gonna get into this. I was gonna try to keep this until 7:30 Eastern or Central Standard Time. It's 6:45 here now. We'll probably go to right there an hour from now. Let's try to do an hour. I wanted to cover over some of the stuff that we had went through with the MultiMiner. We added about 3 more cards, or 3 more cards. I'm surrounded by cards. 3 more of the, or 4 more miner software. And we tried to do some updating on miner. There's a few of the like on in there in the 5.3. And we added, I believe, SG Miner for Chaincoin had its own little distro. I think that was it, actually. Oh my God, we're going to low output again. Looks like we're lagging a little bit here. We'll see if this thing clears up for a second. We might have to stop any kind of other. The miners are using all the bandwidth. No, the miners don't use hardly any bandwidth, guys. We'll see if we can get a handle on.
Maybe we'll do it with some of those other currencies.
We need a BBT coin. Trust me, I've thought about it, guys, but I'd only introduce a coin or an ICO only if I had something epic to bring to you guys, and I would show to you and give it to you for free first. And then, obviously, we'd ramp up any kind of new features and stuff. Maybe we'd get an ICO, but we don't have any cool features to bring to you yet on any particular blockchain-based system.
We'll see if we can get a handle on.
Maybe we'll do it with some of those other.
Looks like it's cleared up some, but we were getting a little bit of lag. Trust me, I've thought about it, guys, but I'd only introduce a coin or an ICO only if I had something epic to bring to you guys, and I would show to you and give it to you for free first. And then, obviously, we'd ramp up any kind of now again because we can get an ICO. Yeah, sorry, guys. We got Jason over here, and the loop's happening. You can't do anything on that streaming machine at all that has to do with audio. It will loop back through the even though we have it looped, even though we have everything closed off in Windows and disabled, it still goes back through the.
So we gotta fix that. I mean, the system audio is feeding in as an input into the stream.
I know, and it is disabled, which is crazy. I know. Trust me. That's what I had problems with the OBS Studio. We use XSplit, guys. I was trying to get OBS Studio really working, but I kept having this like audio issue with it. It seems to be like a very common thing, and it's kind of one of those things like once you get a render machine or a live stream machine set up, you just don't mess with it. And the problem is I mess with that machine a lot, so I need to have a rig that's only it. No, you can, he can't. You're good. You can, he can't. Now you can do whatever you want on your computer. I got like tech support happening right here, guys, right in front of you. No, so yeah, that's what's happening. Is we're trying to get some other stuff queued up, and the second we do that, it just goes. Stuff. Is it the tennis guy? No, this is not the tennis guy. It is not the tennis guy's fault. The ghost in the house.
I'm way more attractive.
Oh, oh, Miss BBT, yeah, right. Listen to that, the confidence.
No, it was. We're back to the conversation before the stream.
They're going, don't touch anything, Miss BBT. That's funny. All right, guys. Sorry. We went on a tangent. We've burned about 20 minutes. I'm gonna have to I'm not gonna edit this part out when we go to let it post, but we got through some of the issues. I think we're in good shape now. Let's get into some mining. How about that? We're gonna talk. The main thing today was just an expansion, kind of not on the rant that I was going with Ethereum's difficulty, but a lot of people have made a lot of different investment. You know, obviously a lot of people went to try to get, a quick buck, and some people went out and bought a whole bunch of hardware. And now with Ethereum's difficulty, it's kind of one of those situations like, okay, what do I do now? Do I just sell the equipment? Do I take the hit? And what I've said to a lot of folks is, by and large, if you look at crypto in general, if you've made an investment to mine, stick to that commitment in mind. So having options of knowing what to mine and making a choice, and at least getting some units of crypto can pay very forward later on. If you look at anything, Litecoin, obviously Ethereum, XMR, Dash, Decred, you look at all that expansion of folks that were mining when it wasn't really profitable. Ubiq, you got all these different single mining rig equipment and mine and get some quantitative amount of cryptocurrency, and use it as a hedge. So, did we just go offline? Yeah, the stream is just peaking up and down. Who touched it? So if we're lagging, sorry guys. I'm trying to see if we have any other. I don't think we have any other bandwidth usages here, right? Do we have they're going Miss BBT, damn it.
You can do it.
Do we have
They're all gone.
yeah, make sure all their stuff's shut down. I think this has purely to do with my charter internet, which sucks and is non-consistent. Nobody's touching anything. I think it's just going to crap. It's your kids.
Blame it on the kids. Miners
are off. Everything's off. Turn off Pornhub. Yeah, no Pornhub going on. Stream it with Verizon 4G. Yeah, if the cell phone services would hold up, we would totally do that. So I wanted to take you guys through. I got an NVIDIA machine and an AMD rig here. We're gonna kind of go through some of those different options, kind of make sure you understand when you're using the MultiMiner to go in there, change your addresses, where to change your addresses, that kind of stuff. So we're going to, it looks like it's recovered. We're gonna try to make sure that that's been recovered, and we'll bring up on the screen if we wanna switch that. Can you switch that scene? Since Jason abandoned us here.
Bring up which screen?
Just switch the scene to the other. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, guys, is the MultiMiner that's in the description. So let's focus. In the description right now, we have the MultiMiner 5.3. That is what I'm going to be showing you here. It has some new updated mining pieces of software. We added in here the Chaincoin SG miner. There's still some. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to come full open, guys. There's still some configuration stuff on some of the AMD card stuff that I need to work on, and do some more testing with it. I think we have to qualify all the GPUs that we're using, because I was doing some early testing right before we push this up with some AMD machines, and it looks like we have some more work to do on some of the AMD versions of the miner for the new coins that we just added. So just to qualify that. So if you double click that, it comes up here. you'll see kind of at the bottom here is the new. If you scroll with your scroller, you can scroll up and you can see all the options 1 through, I think we're up to 42. So the Expanse, the Chaincoin, Digibyte, and Feathercoin, and I just added a couple pools in there. So what I need everybody to do is put the pools that you want to see in there. It's kind of like a poll of, you know, make a hey pool request that you want to see in there, and we can get it added in there. So if you're mining on a different pool or a F2 pool or something like that, we can get them added in there. I just got a few entries of each. Some of it's Supernova, and then I believe it's whole pool for the Expanse. So Expanse is used in Claymore. So if I do like a 38 and just enter, that's actually going to run out and connect to Expanse and then start using Expanse's pool. You can see the URL in there. We'll make sure that it gets posted out there on the description for where you can go and check your miners. Here, we'll hit yes to that. And you can see this mining Expanse, but so the Claymore does both NVIDIA and AMD. So if you're just doing that, you can go in there and let that run. And what I want to show you is when you download this with all these different miners, and it's running right now in the background, if you right click on this and go, let's see here, did I put I'm going to put NOTEPAD++ on this computer. I haven't put it on this computer yet. NOTEPAD++. This is to edit. There's some changes I need to make with the miner software, or the batch file, to where you can just use Notepad, but right now we're just going to use NOTEPAD++. I do this quite often because each time I show you guys a machine, it's usually a newer or a different machine or a new machine. So we're just taking the defaults right now on this. Open, that's fine. We're going to close that. And what I'm going to do is have this over here, and then I'm just going to drag this guy over to here, which will open up Notepad++. So up here, this is one of the things. If you're kind of half paying attention, you're kind of looking into this. You may do this with your rig if you have a Windows machine, and yes, we're still working on the Linux one. The first thing you want to do is right-click and edit this in like Notepad++ or another scripting tool. And you want to change these addresses. Now, I like the fact that sometimes randomly people forget maybe, and that's a benefit, I guess, to us in a way, but guys, I don't want to take your hash power. Go in there and edit that and change your address. You can go through, you don't have to change it for all of them, just look at the ones that you're going to be mining with, and go in here and change those addresses with your address. That's one of the most critical things you can do, and I can't tell you how many times. I mean, if you're just testing it and you're just launching it and you want to see it work on your machine, I get it. You can benchmark your system. It throws a little bit of hash our way for a second, and then it comes right back off the network. But go out there, put your address in there, and I understand we all forget, but I'm just trying to make this as like a public service announcement out there. That you want to change that. Otherwise, you're mining for our address. We got this all set up as a example. So it's not I'm trying to steal your hash power. I'm trying to make sure that all the syntax is in there, so everything works. I saw, and I want to make sure that it functions and it works, and you see how it works. So that's why we have our address in there. But you want to go in there. You want to change that of whatever miner that you want to do. If you look down below, you got the web login, and this. If you're using something like Supernova, in there it's going to ask you for your web login. So that's whatever you're logging into Supernova with, and then a dot and then a worker. So what that's all you got to do on this is just change the equals. Change that bits be tripping to your login one, and then the miner name. That way it knows. Now this is only going to go to one. This is made for just like one miner, so you can open them up in different miners and change each miner's worker. But this software, you want to go in there and change those settings. That's what I'm coming down to. That way you're getting credit for the stuff that you're doing. So that's where you change. You just change it one time up here for the different addresses. And if you look at these ETC, ETH, XMR, I mean, these are all the different coins right now that are in this, and this is growing. There's been a lot of contribution, people adding more and more and asking for more and more. that go in there. But this is kind of the meat of where you're just going to be touching. You don't have to mess with anything below here. I mean, you're more than welcome to go in there and edit it, make your own version of it, add your own pool and stuff if you feel comfortable with doing some of the scripting and changes. But this is the meat of the MultiMiner. So you want to change. This is the area where you change up here with your particular address. So sorry I beat that one into a pulp, but so this is an NVIDIA machine that we're running right here. This is a pair of 1080 Ti's. They're base stock. I don't even think I'm overclocking these right now. So they're getting about 32 and some change together. So that's that. The 64 mega hash right now is running on. And you know what? Let me do something here. I'm going to change the display to where they could probably see this better. Let me know if that's better. That should be. It looks like we got some super chats here. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking. Nicholas Mason, do you have a question, or are you just being awesome with that $20 super chat?
You just said thanks.
Like a boss. So we're doing this one. I'm going to come over to this one here in a few minutes, which is a 6 card in a gray matter case, RX580. It's got some overclocks already on it. It's got the BIOS on it. We'll get these BIOSes updated. This is the XXX overclocked edition, black edition, XFX, 588 gigs, and we'll do some of the. You'll get to see some performance on this. And of course we'll get the settings up there for this, but we'll close that back out. Maybe. There we go. If we come back in here and we rerun the MultiMiner, all we're doing is just running this bat file. When you double click it, and then you'll see in there. So we added up Feathercoin. Feathercoin's an old one. Feathercoin, I believe, and somebody can fact check me on this, but I believe I'm right on this. Feathercoin was the third actual crypto. So you had Bitcoin, Litecoin, and then Feathercoin. And if you listen to our, believe it or not, we actually have a rap song. We have a rap song. If you look up the BBT rap song, it actually has the lyrics in there, giving props to Feathercoin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Feathercoin. But yes, there is a BBT rap song. Believe it or not, we had, I think, the coolest rap song there was at the time. Let's see here. I'm gonna link it. Song. I don't know. They're probably hearing it like woo. I'm gonna link this because it was cool. This was like one of our very first videos.
Can you talk about what's mining in that right now? With their seed?
Yes. That's our BBT rap song. There's nothing mining in it right now. This is just the BBT miner. I'm going to throw on some Feathercoin. I think this is, oh, that's the AMD version. This is, we'll do the AMD version in a second. Oh no, that's NVIDIA. AMD version stream, that's right. I need to work on the AMD version. So that is Feathercoin right now being mined. We'll let that run. That's Neo. That's a Neo script based algorithm coin. It used to be a script coin. I'm just reading one of the things there. So we have the AMD. I know I have to still fix the AMD version for, I believe, the Chaincoin and anything that was using the SG miner. I have to do some edits on, but yeah, I mean, you guys are more than welcome going in there and fix it. Right now, it's just going to be mining with one card. I need to define that it's like a 6-card rig. My ears are screaming. So you can go in there and edit that. But right now, I mean, if you're a Feathercoin, like this machine right here is getting 2,700 mega or kilohash with the 1080 Ti's. Again, these are bone stock. These are not. I do not think I even have. Let's see here, Afterburner. Afterburner. That's 27.18. Let's take these to, I don't know, 600. And let's do number 43 again. Let's see what a 600. These are not in an open air rig, so I didn't really push them too hard. They're actually in one of the Ryzen boxes we got. Looks like a decrease. Oh, there it goes. 2,900 kilohash, almost 3,000. Not bad for Feathercoin. So we've had a lot of different questions like in the last few weeks. So if somebody's asking like, why the hell are you mining Feathercoin and all this technology, you know, all this hardware and stuff. So I mean, we wanted to add some options for people. Not everybody has a full rig. Not everybody even is, you know, maybe made a purchase, bought a 1080 Ti because they knew it can mine, but now they can't mine, and they're like, oh crap, I don't game enough to really warrant this. What we're saying is you can absolutely hedge that, and that's what some of these coins are for. And part of it, the discussion in the last video was, you know, sometimes you're not. It's not. Crypto has up and downs, and the folks that persevered and continued to mine, you know, if they can, I get it, guys. Everybody has a different situation where they're not going to be paying for power that whole time. But if you can mine and take a position in several other coins, when crypto lifts is when you really get paid. It isn't the people that sit there and ran it when it was hot, you know, that made a lot of money from doing this. You know, the people that just kept doing it when it wasn't profitable is really where it paid off, right? So, you know, I get that it's hard to sit there and watch that money sit there and run, and you're paying for your power and stuff like that. But that's essentially what this is trying to help you guys with, is to give you guys some options, spread that hash power out over some different coins. You know, you put a few rigs on, you know, Ubiq coin, Digibyte coin, any of those coins like that, and you know, earn some units. And then when those units lift, you know, I know some folks that were on Ubiq. You know, right when we talked about doing it on Ubiq coin, it was like 70 cents or so. Now it's like $1 or something. So, you know, everything's kind of taking a lift right now. Everything's going to be kind of still shaky through the August 1st. You know, forks. If it's going to be, if the miners are going to flag, or if you know, if there's going to be a UASF, you know, the user activated soft fork. Is it, you know, what's going to happen? So I think it's going to be a little shaky. There was some good news from Ethereum today with MasterCard, I know, and that's why it helped bump it up. But any of that kind of feedback, you know, that we get from the cryptocurrency, it's gonna do well. You know, as it hits the news, you know, it just out of nowhere it looks like it's going south, and then some good news comes out, and you're kind of seeing that with Ethereum right now. Oh, it didn't like that. So usually if that's happening, guys, and this is a good example. I did see some feedback, and I do agree with somebody's analysis. If you close out, if you've done a heavy overclock on your 1080 Ti's especially, and you go to close it after that overclock, you need to bring up your actual like MSI afterburner, and you need to downclock it before you close your miner. It'll release that thread, and it won't blow up like it just did right there. So give that a little shutdown love. And actually, we will move this while that's figuring its life out. We're going to move this over to here, and you don't care about two 1080 Ti's. How about an actual mining rig? Make sure that that's in there. And we'll get you guys some action on a real mining rig with a few of these coins. And we'll take some questions and answers, or try to provide you some answers. This was already up. and we'll shoot you guys that background too. I'll link to that background. We have it out on Deviant. I think it's DeviantArt. It's been posted out there for quite a while. The background here, if you want to put that on your miner. But let's look here. Some people probably want to know what this is. We'll do the i3-6100. It's got actually 16 gigs RAM in there. It doesn't normally have 16 gigs RAM. We actually just put both the sticks in there so we wouldn't lose it. It usually only has 8 gigs of RAM in it. But there's so much stuff around here, and I lose so much stuff around here. Like, we have to go and refine things all the time. So it's just running the 16 gigs in there right now. And then this has the RX580 8 gig XFX. Here, you know what, we'll go ahead and give, you know, I don't know if I have Digibyte configured right on this. We'll see. Nope. SG. Number of open CL cards. Yeah, so this only has, it's probably only going to mine with one card right now. Yeah, it looks like GP1 or 0. So I need to go in there and configure that. So that's for Digibyte. We'll make a update. So right now the current version is 5.3 is what I uploaded. 5.4 will have I'll put an asterisk and say fixed. So when I do that, if you guys can sneak in a few other pools that you'd like to see, and I'll see if I can get those added tonight. We'll make a change to that, and then we'll update it. But again, this was just a few pools that we put in there. So that still seems pretty high. 1.5 megabyte for that miner. Interesting. We'll throw some love to Ubiq. So I'm going to also bring up, before we get out of here tonight, and I'll take like 20 minutes of questions. So don't freak out, guys. We'll go through some stuff, but 33. My main thing is I wanted to get this out. I told you guys we were making this and I wanted to get it out. I wanted to explain kind of this Ubiq pool that we had. Oh, fail sauce. Thread stuck in device driver. I think that's from the SG miner. I seen that one other time when I ran the SG miner, and I don't think it's releasing the thread on the graphics card. That's one thing I have to fix. So be wary that if you use that SG miner and it's not configured right, I don't think it's releasing the thread. So we'll get that fixed. That way you don't bounce your machine. We'll let this reboot and then we'll go ahead and run it. But when you're out, when you guys make a post, let me know any of those other things that you want to add to it. Why this is rebooting? It's at the half-hour mark right now on the stream. Let's the whole pump. I'll take some questions right now. I saw a few more super chats that looked like come in. I think was everything up today? I think everything on Poloniex was up today.
I think Litecoin might have been down a little bit.
The Litecoin? Yeah. Is it reboot yet? Yep, what's up? Try this again.
Lisk was down.
Lisk? Yeah.
Litecoin was down.
Alright, now it's a fresh reboot. That should run for a second. And you know while that's going, let's go ahead and make this bigger screen. See if we can get it to reboot again. There we go. 177 for a 6-card rig. Now these things are going to spin up because we turned off the main fans here. So they're so Ubiq coin is essentially Ethereum at an epoch level of like 4 or 5, I think. What's the epoch level? 5. Epoch 5. So where Ethereum's like 134, 135 right now. So on that epoch level, if you hit S on there, you'll see it'll tell you the epoch level and then how big it is. So that will support a 2 gig card right now. 2 gigs. And what we'll do, the one thing I want to show you while that's running, what I'm going to do here is, I know I have a 2 gig card. I think I have a 2 gig card. This is definitely a 2 gig card. Since this thing's off, we'll show you guys before we get out of here tonight, real quickly, that your 2 gig cards, if you guys have some old 2 gig cards, they do work. Maybe. I'll show you. You know what? It might actually be faster for me just to put a riser.
A few episodes ago we covered CPU coins, right?
A what?
CPU coin?
We did XMR for mining CPU. I have a few that are in kind of on our test right now. Well, no, I'm just gonna pull this over here. I'm just gonna unplug that. I'll leave that in there. Now we don't have to mess around with anything. Just run this over here. And we'll just run it out here. That's one cool thing about this thing. We'll show you that you can mine with your 2 gig cards on some of these things with a MultiMiner. So if you had some of those that you have just kind of tucked away and you stopped using them after Ethereum stopped accepting it, I thought I had an older 2 gig, like a good 2 gig card. I mean, this is a 750 Ti. We'll just throw that guy right there. Should be fine there. And this does not have actually any, does not have any 6-pin or anything. Just pulls all the power right off the. Reach this. Let that cook.
What was the reasoning behind you choosing aluminum for your mining rigs over all wood?
Honestly, the aluminum just seems to be one. I move them around a lot. If you guys can tell, I move the rigs around a lot, and the all wood flexes way too much for me, especially when I'm using like a 7-card, 8-card rig. Like an all wood rig just has way too much flex and bow. So that's just too much for me to deal with, and I always like the strength of the aluminum.
Any safety concerns with doing all wood, or it's
No.
just personal preference?
Personal preference mainly. I mean, there's a lot of all wood rigs I've seen. I've seen some pretty cool ones people have done in pine and different setups, and those have worked pretty well for some people. Did I not? Oh, failed. Hold on. I did not. I moved this motherboard out of here and did not plug in the.
If you're running 2 GTX 1070s and an SLI from your gaming rig, is it better to mine them in SLI or to?
I disable SLI. Technically it works with some stuff. Some stuff it does not like to work. That has not turned on. Oh, that's not that way. this guy in here. We got that plugged in. I did not. I pulled this motherboard out. I had to use it, the other one that was in there, for something else. Let's make sure that this guy is all the way in. It is. That's running. There we go.
You said push the power button.
Power button is not plugged in. But that should come up. We'll let that come up. MultiMiner for EthOS. No, once we have the Linux version out and ready. What's going on here? Well, maybe we'll have to come back to the 2 gig card. I did pull this just off the shelf, so I mean, everything looks like it's good, but it's not initializing the display. We'll come back. We'll have one that's specially for TIG. I know I have some in some boxes here. I think I have some RX, or not RX, hell, they're R9 270Xs that we don't use anymore. I will dedicate an entire episode for all you folks that have the 2 gig cards, and even 1 gig cards. There's some 1 gig cards you can still use. But we're talking the 750 Ti's. I think I actually have a 750 non-Ti. We have some 1050s. There's a lot of like 1 and 2 gig cards that you can still use for a lot of mining. So you know, those are repurposed for other coins. I would say, like you know, I think we were using the 750 Ti's. I had like 3 or 4 of them over here the other day. We were just playing around with it to see what we could get with them with XMR. And I think we had 3 of them, and it was like 780 XMR, almost 800 hash for XMR. And I mean, these things were literally sitting on the shelf. So I'll take that. That's a little faster than the actual Ryzen processor. I mean, it's a CPU, but that's a use for them. And it was using next to no power. I mean, these things are like 30 watt TDP if you don't really juice them up. So, you know, and then you got the 270Xs, and I mean, there's some really good deep discounts you can find some of these 2 gig cards for, and not even realize you guys could be mining with them. You know, put together a cheap mining rig and mine with the 2 gig cards. Now, you're not going to be doing Ethereum, and then any Ethereum-based kind of coin that has a DAG file, once it exceeds 2 gigs, you'll be in the same story as Ethereum, where it doesn't work. But you know, so don't go out and spend out a ton of money on 2 gig cards. But if you're wanting to start cheap and you're just like wanting to dabble in it and you don't want to use your gaming rig and all that, it is an alternative. So we will have an episode on that. I do have cards for that, and that's a great episode actually, to show you what you can and what you can't, and especially in the MultiMiner. Yes, Zcash right now, Ubiq, because I'm trying to get as many units as I can of the Ubiq coin. XMR from the CPU side right now are what the primary use is right now. The video cable. They're all concerned with this one not running. I don't think it's the video cable, because I mean, this video cable was plugged into this one fine. I just slapped this back together. I don't even know if that motherboard's got everything plugged in right. I mean, it's, you know, we got the 8-pin plugged in, we got the 24-pin plugged in. All the rest of it looks good. Memory's good. That looks fine. That's a new riser. This one should be running. I can feel the heat coming off these, so I know that's definitely running. Yeah, that came up. Switch back to this one. Right now, we'll do the 2 gig cards later. Yeah, so this one was running Ubiq coin. So we can switch back to you got that on there. Yeah, so Ubiq, this one right here, this is Hold Pool. Hold pool's one that we're using. That's the one that a lot of the guys on our Discord channel kind of created. Actually, they did create. They did not kind of create. That's the one that we're using personally. Is Hold Pool. So HODL pool. They just set up for Expanse. This MultiMiner has that built into it. So if you hit the Expanse one, you're going to the exp.holdpool.com. So we're going to put some hash power on the Expanse one also to try to get Expanse. Expanse has been out there for a while too. Actually, I think Expanse was the very first ETH fork. Somebody could fact check me on that too, but I want to say Expanse was one of the very first forks of ETH. It's been out there for a while, I think. But where was that? This was another site that I wanted to show you guys tonight too. So a lot of people ask me questions like, I hear all this cool stuff about Ethereum. I hear that, there's only a few things working on the public chain. What is this thing really going to do? When's somebody actually going to throw some real stuff out on the public chain? And what I want to point you guys to is this pretty cool website called State of the Dapps, DAPPS. And this State of the Dapps website actually lists pretty much all of the active projects that are looking at deploying to the Ethereum public blockchain. And they actually have a really cool dashboard here where it shows you all of the different dApps that are in development. It'll say that if it's live on the public blockchain, if it's working prototypes, if it's work in progress, and it gives you guys a one-stop shop. There's over 500 dApps right now being worked on. You could sit here and scroll this down. So right here is the website, dapps.ethercast.com. And this shows you all of the active work being done in Ethereum from a dApp level. So let's say here, Eurobet, it's abandoned. You see the ones that have abandoned, the ones that have not made it. Ether design, AI design logo. I mean, these, let's just click that. If you click that, it'll show you kind of what they're working on. It'll show you if they have a website. You can open that in a new window, and then you can get to their website. So, these guys don't know who they are, but they have a cool thing, and they have kind of what they're looking for. They're gonna a calendar of when they're gonna be doing some stuff. But this kind of gives you guys a one-stop shop to go out there and look at what actual dApps are out there and what is Ethereum from a public side doing. So hopefully that's good. We'll link it at the bottom here to that site. But if anybody's trying to wonder, I'm talking to my friends and it's a living, breathing type of thing, where is this stuff at? This is a great resource for that. And it allows you guys to look. So, there's a lot of ICOs coming out on here that are posting their stuff. So if you're trying to get in on a new ICO, they'll post their stuff on there when they're going live. But yeah, it gives you kind of a big punch list for that, And I know it's kind of random. It's not nothing to do with really mining or any of that kind of stuff, but it gives you kind of an understanding of what is being made right now. So hopefully that helps you guys and helps you when you're trying to explain to people why you have all this equipment down in your basement and you're mining and you believe in it and that kind of thing. So, all right, we're at 43 in. I know we haven't covered a ton. I just wanted to go through, the 5.3 version of the miner. We're going to have a quick 5.4 version probably sometime later tonight. But get this one downloaded, try it out. And, we'll make some fixes to that SG miner so you guys can use your AMD cards with it. I kind of got this one still chugging along on Ubiq coin. If you're out there and you're trying to figure out, I think it's Ubiq. Let's see here if we can get the. No, it doesn't come up. Yeah, Ubiq Hold Pools doesn't come up on. The SCO hasn't processed the. Or Google hasn't processed the details for Hold Pool yet, so I'll have to come in here to get to the URL. Okay. Oh, what's up with that? Here we go. Hold, pull, that's sexy. Here. This guy right here is what I want. This gets you to the actual pool. Now I'm going to show you guys a few last things and then we'll take some questions. So when you're on here like hold pull, and the Expanse looks the same way, when you're actually mining, you click on miners and you got to know your address. Understand what you're mining to. Make sure you went out there and you've changed your address for this. And then you can go out there and you can click any one of these. I don't know who some of these people are, but if I click on this top one right here, the guy that has 1.49 gigahash, if I click on his, you'll see all of his miners that he's got going on here, and you'll see what he's earned. So, I mean, this guy started mining on this pool probably a couple days ago, at least 3 days ago, I think. I did the video on hold pool. He wasn't there 2 days ago. So, yeah, 2 days. He's made over 100. Now, granted, he has 1 gigahash on here, but he's made 100 units, right? If I look at some of these other folks, look at somebody has like a, so 35 mega hash almost has a full unit. Now granted, that's not a ton right now, it's $1. But you got to look at it, guys, like it's 90 cents right now, 95 cents or something for 1 Ubiq coin. You can put 30 mega hash on it and roughly in probably about a day or so have almost a full coin, maybe 2 days with 30 mega hash, right? Get a full unit. That goes to $7, $10, $15, and you only had like a 30 mega hash card. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Feathercoin, Digibyte, any of these things. Get as many full units as you can. I mean, you guys are the miners. You're the ones that are being exchanged for your time and power. You're getting compensated. You know, switch that hash power around. Get some units in one of the currencies that you can point your stuff to. It's not all end-all be-all to Ethereum. I get it from an ROI standpoint. I get it when Ethereum's difficulty was low, and I get it that if hopefully they make an adjustment to the fuse and defuse the current difficulty bomb earlier than when they're wanting to do on the hard fork. I think if a lot of hash power moves off that network very quickly, especially after the next retarget with Ice Age, it may motivate some decision making. But right now, I mean, you don't have to wait for that. If you finish your blocks out if you're on Ethereum, and then move your hash power and try to earn some credits and stuff.
What's the likelihood that the person you picked on this software is actually in the chat right now? Because he is.
Oh, which one? The guy that has the 30?
Flaxus, right here.
Oh, Flaxus? Is that his particular address?
Yes. The name is the same.
Oh, Flaxus, hey, what's the chances, bro? Hey man, you're about to earn your first Ubiq coin. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean there's 80 miners on here right now. I picked one in the chat. We'll click around. So you know this person has 122. This is a full rig. You know this is a basic rig. 122 mega hash, 135. Is earning 2.73. You know, this is one of those things, you know, you get, you know, Bitcoin, all this stuff blows up $5,000, you know, all the different people talking, Bitcoin goes to 5,000, you know, Ethereum goes to 600. I mean, we're just talking random, like, possibilities. And then, you know, Ubiq coin goes to $7, $8, right? You have 2 or 3 coins. Oh, I just stepped on the... That's part of the problem with that right there. You know, that goes to $7, $8. You know, that's yeah, you can go back to it. Hey, don't. I stepped on the cord and pulled it out of the back of the rig. That's what I'm talking about. You guys have one rig, you know, and just, you know, hedge on it. If you have 3 or 4 rigs, you know, put one on Ubiq, put one on Digibyte, you know, and just kind of mix that hash power up. So I'm just trying to. I've seen a lot. The reason why I'm really harping on this one on this episode, guys, is that I've seen a lot of emails coming. People are freaking out, like, "Oh my God, Ethereum! It's too much. I haven't even made my first Ethereum coin. What am I going to do?" And you know, I'm just trying to make sure that it's just a mine. You know, point that mining rig to something that's actually going to pay you some units, and then it's that hedge of looking to see if that thing will appreciate. We have any other questions? I mean, it's I'm trying to. We're at 49. We'll answer questions for 11 minutes here, and then we'll wrap this up at a full hour, guys. Again, this was main push was to get the 5.3 out to you guys, and then kind of talk some options. I'll have some proper hardware. I was gonna go through another rig in the back here. We can go kind of full screen on this. One that I've been working on in the back. It's a little blue rig back here. It's not, I don't think it's really plugged in or not. Tell you what, I'll pull this over here and let you guys kind of take a closer look at that as I'm building that. This has the arm. I'll just grab this. It's not running.
We were asking questions about the gray matter case. What are temps like when it's closed? How loud are the fans?
When the fans are loud,
the temps on that case are a lot better than the open air, surprisingly, and that's because you're controlling the airflow. When you put the covers on, the air is being drawn in from the front and it's being pushed out the back, and it's constantly getting cooler air that way, and the cards do stay cooler than an open air.
Yeah, these things, these 580s right now are being self-cooled right now because the main fans that you guys see down here are turned off. We disabled them. If I do engage those and turn those on, it's loud. It's like a standard.
Can you reach the button?
I would rather not try to plug it in when it's on.
The other thing is I talked with the actual the guys from Gray Matter. There's two guys. Mm-hmm. They have an 8-card case and a 7-card, and they said that the fans are able to keep up with even doing an 8-card rig without any
that
problems.
puts these very, very close to each other, though.
It does.
Yeah.
And they guarantee to me that's all these guys do is they run GPU farms. So,
yeah.
And
I mean I've been very, very happy with what they're doing. I mean, this gives you they do give you a couple spaces for
another power supply.
For another power supply if you need to run 2 power supplies in the rig. But you know, it's just the case is expensive. It comes with risers that you usually have to replace. I mean, in full disclosure, I mean, most of the risers in general, you know, I can come over to this rig here now. Most of the rigs anymore, I mean, I've replaced so many risers, even fresh ones that we've gotten to try to get things to work. It's ridiculous. Like, there are no good risers. I got some new ones coming in that have the 6-pin on them. We'll test those out. This is the blue rig that I've been working on. It's got the little BBT sticker here. We're gonna do another giveaway. I was gonna set the giveaway up tonight, but I was trying to get something special to what we were gonna do the giveaway, and it did not show up. So on the next live stream, that right now we're looking at probably Thursday, we'll talk the giveaway piece here. We can come off the screen. I was just trying to give them a view of that blue one. We're going to do another giveaway, and the way the giveaway is going to work, guys, is unlike you having to be as part of the live stream. We're going to just say what the details of the giveaway are in the next live stream, and then you'll have an entire week to submit everything in for the giveaway, and then we'll pick it on the next live stream. So the next live stream that has after that week, we'll probably have one in between that as people are trying to get in. And then we'll give it a full at least 5 to 7 days for people to be able to get part of that, because I know we have an international audience, and I know that people want to try to participate in that, and they didn't get a chance on the last one. So I'm trying to make sure it's a good one for you guys, and we'll do that. So we'll take questions for about 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap this one up. Best 2 gig mining cards, RX580. No, I would say probably the best 2 gig cards are some of the newer cards that are 2 gigs, like the 560 2 gig.
How much mega hash does the BBT sticker give you?
Oh, at least 10. At least 10. Yeah, any of obviously the giveaway stuff that we'll have, We'll throw some BBT stickers in there for you guys. And then we'll do a few more on shirts too. We'll do a few more shirts on the next giveaway too. I know you guys got some more questions. Was that another super chat I missed?
It was just a thanks. Jeremiah.
Oh, Jeremiah, like boss. And we'll get the BIOS. I have the BIOS for these. We'll put in there that are on this in the Gray Matter case, and I do got BIOSes those for those armors. That's what I'm working on right now. Getting to work. That blue case, guys, actually. So that's these cards here. So that blue case is actually not ours. I built that case, but that was we had a viewer that was having some issues with a different board. And I was trying to get that fixed for them, and they sent that over to us to have us take a look at it and see if we could get it to work. And the board that was sent with it was this one here, which is the Z170A Pro MSI. And so far, I have not been able to get it to be stable. So, I still have some more testing with it. I have an AR board in there right now. So the way I usually do this is if I'm building a new rig, or I'm trying to build, try to fix somebody else's rig, if they send it out to us to have fixed, I test all of their equipment with the AR, the Asus Z270 AR Prime, because I know that works. I know it's a good platform, it works. I did not know about this board here, if it would work or not, the Z170 Pro A. I know the Carbon, we've had the Carbon, and then in a video with tennis player everybody asked about, we had the Z, I think it was the 270 SLI, and that worked fine. This one, however, has not. I think GPU Shack was selling these ones with the packages, and supposedly it works with EthOS. So I'm going to test it. It has not been working with Windows, and it has not worked with Simple Mining. It doesn't even really post. Like 6 cards post sometimes, and then sometimes it has like a life of its own, and then loses all of its configuration. So. Maybe it's a bad board. I don't know. I mean, I know he has another one of these and it wasn't working either. So we're gonna still dive into it a little further, see if we can get it fixed. But that was a what I'd call a user. We've had some people send us rigs to try to get them to work for them. It's just an expensive venture because you have to ship it to us, and we spend a little bit of time on that, and there's a little bit of effort applied to that. But if you have a situation where you have a lot of different rigs, it's pretty advantageous to go that route because you want to replicate that and make sure it works. So one of the benefits also is that we have a BIOS for this now, and we'll put that on this video here, and then we'll do a separate video probably Thursday once I get it all kind of configured and working, and then you guys can see what the RX 8 gig dual OC does. Right now it's doing about 27.5. And I think the 6 cards are at like 810 watts, so it's not too bad. They do get a little hot though. That card does not have any kind of proper cooling on it, so we might have to undervolt it some. But all right, we got 2 minutes. We're gonna do a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap this one up. So this is the time where you ask. And I know we're running a small delay, so.
We're good at answering each other's questions.
Oh, we got an awesome community. Everybody takes care of it. You guys check us out, definitely, while I'm waiting for some questions to roll in. Check us out on Steemit. I've seen some people finally start posting and follow us on there. That's also a way to help support the channel. You guys go out there, upvote, provide comments and feedback in there. Go out there and get you a Steemit account. If you don't have one, you need to get one. It's going to become like the new Reddit. So go out there, get a Steemit, follow us out there, like, subscribe, share. I mean, we're on Twitter. I have an Instagram account, but we just haven't linked it yet. I've been trying to take some pictures and stuff with that, get that uploaded. But yeah, bitsbetripping.com. We got an awesome Discord channel out there. I mean, people always helping each other. It's really a pay it forward community. You know, you ask your questions out there. You know, people will usually respond back pretty quick. So if you have not went out there, it's worth your time. Go out to bitsbetripping.com. Click on Discord channel, accept the invite. You're in Discord. You can make, if you've never been there, you can make a quick username. You can get right into the community. It's a really awesome community. We drop in there. Jeremiah dropping the 20s like it's hot, like a boss.
He said that you've helped him build 4 rigs by watching your channel and learning. And
that's great, buddy. I keep mining. If you can hold, don't sell. Let crypto go up. There's a lot of room. All those dApps. All I got to tell you is go out there, look at those dApps. Look at what's being created. Look at their timelines. Look at their schedules. That gives you a lot of insight, guys. That's what we go out there and look at. You know, you go out there and look at what's releasing, what's being worked on, who's working on it, how much development do they have? Do they have an ICO? Do they have another coin to exchange? You know, there's a lot out there that you guys can look at. It gives you insight at what's being worked on. So then that big news drops on the web, you can kind of catch it before the lift. So download if you guys, and also in closing, we'll wrap this up here right now. Go out there, and if you don't need to download the actual full client for the BBT miner, just download the BAT file. We included that, and in there has a lot of the URLs and stuff that you guys are asking for. So we'll be cutting this off now. We're gonna check out Expanse tonight. We're gonna throw on some hash power to Expanse and see if we can get that up there. And yeah, if you got your miner turned off, turn it on, get it pointed to one of those new pools, and you know, stay tuned. We'll be bringing some more stuff to you guys, and follow us on Twitter, and you guys will see some new content out there. Yep, we're good.